Can you all see the judgy dog in the background? This is how I spend 90% of my life, is with him giving me side eye. Hey guys, it's Kate from the podcast 7.31.eightysix. I almost forgot my own name. But this is the second to last video in our goal setting little series here. And this one is literally the number one key thing if you want to change your life super, super fast. So it is so simple. It's so simple that I kind of look back on my life and I'm like, oh my God, why? Why didn't you do that? So that thing is being positive. And if you listen to our podcast, you'll hear us say over and over and over again, you have to be positive in life. If you listen to any of the business owners that we interview, or people who have just done really cool things, accomplished their goals, one of the number one things they're going to tell you is you have to be positive even in the worst situations. All right. So how do we make that change right now? So there's kind of 3 steps I'm going to say to doing this. 1, you have to realize your internal dialogue. Number 2, you have to realize your external dialogue. And number 3, you have to kind of reframe the way you look at any situation. All right. I am going to warn you that the second you start reframing your life and becoming more and more positive, you are going to see changes. Now, the best example I can use is when I lost all the weight and kind of went through my whole weight loss journey. I at first started looking at these things as a negative. When I started becoming healthier and becoming more positive and becoming more confident in myself, a lot of people were falling away. And I'm telling you, like my closest friends, my ex-husband, even family to an extent, but very, very close people to me, I just started looking at and I looked at in a very, very different light. And that was very difficult for me. And what I'm saying is I realized that certain people around me, probably not for the right reasons. I'm a type of person that if you need something, I will jump and do it. If you need the shirt off my back, I'll give it to you. And I started realizing like, this is one of the reasons why I am completely exhausted. I'm burning myself out. It's just because I couldn't say no. And to me, it's like, oh, someone else needs something and I drop it all. Now, the second that I started really looking at my internal dialogue, and that is what you are saying to yourself, that's when I started putting more value to myself. So how do we change our internal dialogue? First and foremost, you really have to pay attention to what you're telling yourself. And I know it sounds crazy, but we all have these little voices in our heads. No, you're not crazy. We all have these little things in our head that we say, okay, or that we hear. And an example that I can give is when you're in middle school and something embarrassing happens to you. I work with middle school students, so that's why we're using middle school students. When something embarrassing happens, it's like you think it's the end of the world. It's like, oh my God, how stupid were you? I can't believe you did that and all that. Chances are like, okay, yeah, maybe kids are going to laugh for a little bit. The next day, everyone is so focused on themselves, they're not even going to care. So instead of freaking out and telling yourself how stupid you are, you just kind of learn like, all right, we all make mistakes and we move on. The other areas that this pops up, I want to say a lot of people talk very negatively to themselves on body image. And to me, if your goal is to get healthy or to lose weight, the absolute worst thing you can do is talk about how you need to lose weight, how you're too fat, how you don't like this area, you don't like that area, you have cellulite and all that. You gotta stop doing that. Focus. If you can't find positives or look at yourself in a way where you're not saying negative things, find the positive things that you truly embrace and you care and you love about yourself and focus on those. And that might even be like, you might not be where you're at, but you are working your butt off to get there. So focus on that. Focus on how determined and how hard you are working to get to where you want to be. So if that's what you need to focus on right now, do so. But you really need to start paying attention to how you are talking to yourself. Now, external dialogue. These are the things that we are actually saying. I am the biggest culprit in where I really am goofy and I think it's harmless, but most, I should say 99% of my jokes are on myself. I am generally making fun of myself, whether it be being klutzy or being blonde. I know I'm not blonde right now, but being a blonde, or even when it comes to my goals of things like this, like I joke around like, yeah, I run a mediocre podcast. It's like, no, my podcast is freaking awesome. We work so hard on this podcast. It's like, own it, have fun. You've gotten some really good accolades. We're getting better with each and every episode. So once I started learning, like, you really make fun of yourself, and while you don't mean it any harm, you are bringing the wrong energy around you. So whatever you're joking about, I know a lot of my friends we joke about being single all the time and just like, oh, we're gonna grow old and be the cat lady, or in my case, the dog lady. No, you're bringing the wrong energy. Even if you're not meaning it, you're putting that out to the universe or whatever you want to believe in, and you're kind of heading down a detrimental path. So that is one thing that I right now am at a point where I'm really focusing. I feel like I got a good handle on the internal dialogue. I'm really focusing on the external and not picking so much on myself in those aspects. So internal dialogue, external dialogue, and then changing your surroundings. So what that means is you really need to take a look at what is around you, who is around you, what are very positive influences and what are not so positive influences. You're going to start to see you have some really freaking awesome people in your life. You're also going to see that you have some people that you never in a million years noticed. And then all of a sudden you notice like, wow, this is the most negative person that I have ever met. So do not fret. You don't have to drop everybody and be like, nope, can't talk to you anymore because you complain too much. No, you also don't think you have to take it on to teach them how to be positive. The number one thing I think I've learned as an adult, I know I say that a lot, but one of the big things that I learned when as an adult is you have to let other people have their own learning experiences. So you got to let other people figure that out on your own. So like I said, you do not have to drop everything, drop everyone. Sometimes that means just knowing when you can actually be around them, what situations you can be around them. There's going to be people where, okay, this is great in a group situation, but one-on-one, not so much. I kind of feel like it's bringing the energy down. It's kind of bringing me down. So that's how you build that boundary. And react in a positive way. If someone is saying like, oh my God, it's raining today, be like, yeah, you know what, but grass needs to grow. It's going to be sunny tomorrow. Move on. And you'll notice people kind of start taking themselves away a little bit. And like I said, it's not a bad thing. You're going to end up surrounding yourself with such a freaking awesome tribe of people that you don't have to worry. And I know for me, that was one of my biggest worries. And I honestly can say from experience, I have the coolest people around me right now. So watch your internal dialogue, watch your external dialogue, and start changing the things around you. And guess what? You're going to see everything just take right off. And I'm even saying like in a few days, you're going to notice huge changes in your life, even with these small little things that you can do. All right. So make sure you subscribe. We cannot thank you guys enough for supporting us, for supporting the podcast, supporting the YouTube channel. So subscribe, give a thumbs up, comment down below on how this has been working for you. I want you so hard to try this out. I promise you it's going to be the most amazing thing ever. All right. We will see you guys soon. Love ya. Bye.